Have you ever wondered to yourself, are expensive power supplies like the Pedal Power 3 Plus from Voodoo Labs, are these things really worth it? Because they make a lot of claims on the box, and even on the front of the pedal, it says zero noise hybrid DC transformer design. Well, what does that even mean? In today's video, I'm going to shoot this out against my rat's nest of power supplies. I've been using this thing for years, and it's literally just a couple of one spot power supplies and a couple of power supplies that just came with the pedals I already had. I've always thought maybe this is an aesthetic thing, because obviously who wants to use this one other than me? And this is a lot cleaner, okay? I get a bunch of outlets on this one, so I can plug in up to 12 guitar pedals, but is it really worth all of that money? Well, in today's video, I'm actually gonna be recording my electric guitar direct with all of my pedals, and we're gonna be able to see on a spectrum analysis, is there any noise, and is the noise getting better? I've actually redone this intro. I've already done this intro to this video. I'm coming back and I'm redoing it because I wanted to add, I was so surprised when I got to the Voodoo power supply. I've not been paid for this video. I was not sent this. I paid my own money for this power supply. So I just want to be completely clear with you. I am not a sponsored YouTuber, okay? Right now, I've just crossed 2,500 subscribers. I sure hope you'll consider subscribing as well. One of the things I think I can bring to YouTube is the fact that I'm not being sponsored. So when I test stuff out in my room, this is stuff that I spent my own money on, okay? And I'm in the same boat as you, most likely. We're not all professional musicians. This is a bedroom in our house I'm using as a home studio, and I have the same questions that you have. So today's video, should you be spending all of your money on expensive power supplies? My name is Chris Green. My whole channel is about practical tips for making and recording music. I hope you'll consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Now let's get to it. Let's test out, how does it compare using a rat's nest of one spot cables or getting something like an expensive power supply. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing I want to do is actually record what my guitar sounds like plugged straight into the interface. I've got my American Professional Stratocaster, stock pickups. There's no silent pickups, anything like that. I've got plugged into input 3 on my interface. I'm just going to record a little bit. I might strum a chord every now and then just so you can hear what it sounds like, but I don't expect that to change too much. So this is no power supply at all, just plugged straight into the interface. My volume, tone knobs, all that stuff's at 10 out of 10. I will not be changing any of that for the rest of this test. So I'll start with the neck pickup and go down from there. All right, that was a little bit of just a straight plugged in Stratocaster with no pedals whatsoever. Is there noise? Yes, there's always going to be noise with single coil pickups, but you can notice that there are two pickup positions that are much more silent than the others. Now I am facing two computer monitors. I've got some studio lights in here for video's sake, but now let's jump into adding some pedals. All right, so here is what I'm calling the rat's nest setup. So all of these pedals, my tuner pedal, my tube screamer, my delay pedal, my loop pedal, and the Strymon Iridium are all being powered by one of these power supplies that's plugged into this Blackline Audio power conditioner, okay? So the conditioner is what I'll be using later on when I plug in the Voodoo Power Labs. I really want to try and keep this as consistent as possible. I know there's going to be mistakes or things I could have done better scientifically, but honestly, this is how I would plug in my pedal board. If I were at church or if I were playing somewhere, I would take my rat's nest of power blocks and plug them into a power strip just like this, and then I would go to an outlet and a wall, something like that. So just to be clear, I've got a one spot being plugged into my Boss TU3 tuner, and then from the output of the tuner, I'm actually plugging in my tube screamer. So the output is going from here to here. That's going to cause a little bit of noise, my understanding is. And then here, the Free the Tone pedal actually came with its own power brick. I believe it's this one right here. And then the loop station is using the other one spot. So I have a one spot powering the loop station. I have a one spot powering the tuner. And then I have the Strymon Iridium. It came with its own power brick as well. I believe it's this one here. And that's being plugged in. Now, I'm not concerned, even though the Voodoo Labs one says it's going to improve my tone. I'm really not concerned about tone. I'm concerned about what you'll see on the screen right here. I'm concerned about this, because this is what we would call noise, okay? Now, this is my neck pickup position. So just so you have a reference of how much louder that is, we're going to go through all the pedal settings. This is supposed to be the quietest of the pickup positions, okay? This is the split between the middle pickup and the neck pickup. And as you can see, we're already dealing with more noise. Now, volume-wise, I'm sure, as we go back to the pedals here, I'm sure that this tube screamer is giving us some more volume. So what I'll try to do is when I go to edit this video, I'll try to volume match those G chords that I was playing. I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible, but I believe I've got everything set up pretty conservatively. The tube screamer, for instance, has the overdrive turned all the way down. Okay, I'm just using this for level. If I turn it off, turn it on. It's too loud, so let's turn it down. Let's try to volume match these. Okay, that's pretty close. Tone-wise, it's going to be difficult, but delay pedal off, delay pedal on. Okay. The loop pedal, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get away with that being on. Let's turn off the Iridium. Let's turn on the Iridium. Again, there's subtle differences in the tone, but I believe volume-wise we're pretty close where we need to be. I can turn this down a smidge. So again, let's go back to frequencies here. Strymon Iridium off, Strymon Iridium on. That's pretty close, okay? These are all the pedals on. So all the pedals off. Okay, so let's do a little bit of recording now. I'm going to have all the pedals on. I'm actually going to record that sound because I can hear it in my ears. If you're not wearing headphones, this would probably be the time to get some headphones just to be able to hear these subtleties. But I'm going to go ahead and record. Now, all I'm doing, I've got this on the neck pickup. All I'm doing is I'm going to disengage the pedals. Here we go. I'm going to turn the pedals back on. All right, pedals on. Let's do a little playing. Middle pickup. Now I'm going to turn the pedals off. Again, just so you can see, all the pedals are now off. All right, so again, if you are looking to go this route, you basically will need to have 4 power supplies. If you have a guitar pedal like the Free the Tone or the Strymon pedal, and they come with their own power supplies, that's a plus. But these one spots, let's just check. These one spot pedals are going to cost you about $20 each. Now, the one spot can also come with the daisy chain bundle. And if you want a daisy chain, again, it's not recommended, but if you were in a pinch, this is definitely the way to go. $26.99. And then in a minute, what we're going to be opening up is this Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 3 Plus. As you can see, it has all the outlets you need. It should come with all this stuff in the box, but it's going to set you back $280. So think about all you math people out there. You're going to get at least 10 of these one spot cables before you end up replacing this. And this one gives you 12. We're talking about $26 versus $279. And my question in this video is, are you going to be able to hear a difference? Because that's what matters at the end of the day. Why spend all the money on a big fancy pedal power supply if you can get by with something like this? Now, aesthetics, of course, is going to be a thing because this just looks like a rat's nest, but you can build your own pedal boards, make it look pretty. It's definitely possible. Now, let's switch over and let's get all these things cleared out, and let's open up the Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 3 Plus. Everyone, here we have the Pedal Power 3 Plus from Voodoo Labs. Here's some of the stuff. It says on the box, 12 isolated 500 milliamp isolated DC outputs. Okay, X-Link expansion, so I think you can daisy chain the actual power supplies together. Powers vintage stomp boxes and modern high current effects. Okay, well, I think that's the same with one spot as well. It says audiophile quality power ensures pedals sound their best. Okay, I don't know how to test that, but we will be hearing that G chord like we have earlier. Zero noise hybrid DC transformer design with linear regulation, ultra lightweight, includes DC power cables and detachable AC line cord. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up. All right, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. That's pretty huge. Next to my Free the Tone pedal, it looks kind of ginormous. Okay, so there it is there. It's kind of got a texture to the top of it. I know I sound like I'm doing gear reviews or whatever, but yeah, it's got this textured top. I don't know what the deal. It's like lightning bolts or something, but it feels furry, like one of those kids' books. Okay, on the back, we have our IEC standard power connection, and then the front, as you can see, we've got tons of outlets to deal with. Okay, so it's going to sit there like that. Here we've got our IEC power cable, and we got our patch cables, and that's pretty much it. So there's the box. Okay, so here we have our IEC power cable. Nothing crazy. You probably have got 20 of these laying around your house. I'll plug this one in. And the other end is going to the same power strip I used for the other ones. It's got a little red indicator light. Looks like it's working. So the switches on the front, I'm going to keep everything at 9 volts. So like it's got a 12 volt as well. I don't want to blow anything up, so out of the way for now. Let's break open these. Wow, I've had one of these type things before, and you really want to make sure you hold on to these because they're going to end up in drawers or in a closet somewhere. I'm only going to take out what I need. Wow, they're pretty long too. Much longer than what I'm used to. All right, so let's get our pedal board back in place. All right, so now on the screen, what we have is our tuner pedal. It definitely looks better if aesthetics are your thing, or if you're putting together a pedal board. This definitely might be the route to go if you can swing it. But again, the question is it worth the money? So let's plug in the guitar. Let's get going. All right, it's going to sound like I'm totally doing some sort of paid demo here. I was not paid for this. Paid my own money for this thing. All the pedals are on, as you can see. Tuner pedal, tube screamer, delay pedal, loop pedal, Strymon Iridium. Let's go over to the... Just want you to see this. So this is actually my neck pickup all the way on 10. As you can see, it's pretty nuts. Let me make sure the volume's matched on all the pedals. So I'm going to go through and turn these off one at a time. This is with the Strymon Iridium off on the neck pickup. This is with it on. So it's around negative 15. Negative 15, so Strymon's good. Delay pedal off. Delay pedal on. That's good. Tube screamer off. Tube screamer on. Go a little louder. That's nuts. Okay. Wow. I feel like I don't even need to do the recording, but here we go. I'm going to leave all these pedals on. And just like before, volume's on 10, tone knob's on 10. Here's the neck pickup. That's the middle and the neck pickup together. Middle pickup. Bridge and middle. Bridge. Genuinely, I was expecting this to be a little bit better than the one spot cables.